Hello, and welcome to the video about Interclass teaching system. In this video, we'll talk about how to work with Interclass speaking maps for young learners. So in this video, we will explore the 5 C's of Interclass teaching system, how maps are structured, and we'll talk about pictograms, then we'll talk about how maps are structured, and I'll tell you about categories. And finally, I will give a couple of tips on how to work with their Interclass maps. So let's start with the 5 C's of Interclass system. In every map, we use the following principles. Categories. We teach vocabulary in categories. Charts for language material, or we call them maps. They are used for visual instruction. Connections, all the topics are interconnected for meaningful revision. We revise constantly, and we develop creating thinking in our students. So let's look at how the maps are structured. First of all, we use symbols for the parts of speech. You may stop here and study the symbols. It's diamond for adjective, the bubble or oval for noun, then arrow for a verb, then noun meaning object will be in a rectangle, and the adverb will be in a trapezoid. We use color coding as well. So these colors, they will usually be used for building sentences. So let's look at how the map time and weather is structured by using these symbols. You see that the star is used for a question word, and we'll have the words like what, they're question words. So objects are in rectangles. So the verbs, mostly we have the verb is, but also we will have the verb have and do. The verbs have and do. They are used for talking about clothes, and we'll talk about a person. The oval will be here. So next, we usually use categories. Categories are very important for the development of thinking and for remembering vocabulary. So here the categories are seasons, then months, then, so like maybe this way, seasons, months, weekdays, clock time, weather, and clothes and body parts. You see that using this map, we can talk about such topics as seasons, months, weekdays, time, weather, and clothes. So, and now let's let me give you a couple of tips on how to work with these maps. So first of all, review the categories, or maybe you will study the categories one by one. Yeah. So then use categories to build questions. You see that when we use a category, we can easily build a question. What season is it? And the answer is it is winter. You also see that now I'm showing with the mouse how for building questions we go backwards. What month is it? And for answers, we go forward. It is November. What day is it? It is Tuesday. What time is it? It is 7:30. What weather is it? It is sunny. What clothes do you have on? I have a hat on my head, a coat on my torso, a blouse on my torso, a scarf on my neck, gloves on my hands, ties on my legs, and boots on my feet. Some topics may look a bit silly because here we combine clothes and body parts, but it will be good for revising some body parts and for structuring clothes as well, because here we'll have clothes for head, then clothes for neck, torso, hands. So it will give you an opportunity later to structure your vocabulary using body parts. So another useful tip would be about teaching it. So when you teach this map, you might teach it as a whole. For example, do the whole map, then look at the categories first, then start build sentences, then start practicing answers. Or, as I already said, you may do it category by category. So then we always advise to use a magic finger. We call it magic finger. So if you have young learners and you have printed out this map and you are using it in the classroom, so ask your learners to trace the sentences with the finger. It really helps because today's learners, they really learn a lot with their fingers. Their knowledge is on the tips of their fingers. So you can use lots of games with these maps. You can name the category and they will tell you the words from the category, or you name the word, for example, Thursday, and they tell you weekday. Or you say windy and they say weather. You may do odd man out when you say foggy, windy August, and they say what word doesn't belong. And you also may do riddles. It is a good map for description and riddles, so with the maps. And I would also recommend to ask students to write the sentences down in their notebooks. Maybe not during your first class, but any time when you find it necessary. So that's all that I wanted to tell you about Interclass speaking maps for young learners. Please follow us on Instagram. It's Interclass Teaching System, or you may follow us on our website. Thank you for your attention. Bye-bye.